186,000. That's how many Palestinians a new study suggests will die due to the war between Israel and Hamas. A staggering 38,000 people in Gaza have already been killed. That's according to the Hamas-run Ministry of Health, and that doesn't include bodies trapped beneath the rubble and deaths due to the destruction of hospitals and famine. Emily Taylor joins us in studio with the latest. And Emily, has there been any movement towards a ceasefire?
Well, Nicole, the White House says that senior U.S. officials are in Egypt mediating talks to try and end this bloody conflict before the death toll climbs even further. But a spokesperson says there's still quite a gap between the two sides. A mother carries her son to Nasser Hospital in the Gaza city of Khan Yunis. He is too weak to walk. She says her son Yunus is dying from malnutrition before her eyes. She can't find him clean water or get him to a hospital across the closed border. Yunus is unfortunately one of many Palestinian children feeling the effects of war, with limited food, water, and medical supplies. Israel's assault on Gaza following Hamas's brutal attack on the country has entered its 10th month. The Hamas-run Ministry of Health updated its numbers yesterday, saying 38,193 Palestinians have been killed and around 80,000 have been injured. And now a new study published in the Lancet suggests the death toll could actually be much higher. Researchers say the number is closer to 186,000 people dead once you include those missing under the rubble of destroyed buildings and the death due to lack of food, water, and medical care from Israel's bombardment. That's the same amount of people who live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or Burlington, Ontario. The study says conflicts have many indirect health implications beyond the direct harms of violence. And even if the war ended today, Gaza will continue to feel those effects for years. While ceasefire negotiations continued yesterday, the end of fighting is still far off in the distance.
Look, we've been working this very, very hard, and there are still some gaps that remain in the two sides and the positions. But we wouldn't have sent a team over there if we didn't think that we had a shot here. And we're going to take every shot we can to see if we can't get this ceasefire deal in place.
A major sticking point for both sides is the release of hostages, something Israelis are pushing their government on back home. The mothers of Israeli hostages staged a silent demonstration today in Tel Aviv to mark 276 days since their sons and daughters were abducted by Hamas militants during the October 7th attack. The event was called Mom is Waiting.
There is a deal on the table, and we need to do everything we can to make it happen.
But as negotiators worked to try and find an agreement yesterday, the Israeli Defense Force issued more evacuation orders, telling Palestinians in the north and west of Gaza City that they have to leave or face the encroaching military. The Palestinian Red Crescent racing to relocate hospital patients ahead of impending strikes.
Since the beginning of the war, almost every Gazan have been displaced more than once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, showing how basically there is absolutely no safe space in the Gaza Strip.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a statement Sunday laying out several principles Israel is not prepared to abandon during a ceasefire talks, including resumed fighting in Gaza, quote, until all objectives of the war have been achieved.